Welcome to On the Hill Podcast.
Okay, and we're back.
Back on the hill.
Back on the hill, back on the hill. So we got a good friend with us today, Nassar. But before we do that, we're going to make a little introduction.
Yeah, we usually put this at the end, but just a reminder, if you guys want to follow us on Instagram or like us on Facebook, all episodes are available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else you listen to podcasts. You can find us there. Right now, this is episode 16. So.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And actually the first of the year, too.
Yeah, you're the first. This is the 2024 with the guest of honor. Special guest, baby. Special guest. Yeah, so if you go on there, like us, particularly on YouTube, and we're also, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and, of course, the Facebook. But, yeah, and don't just, click a like or dislike. That's fine. But leave a comment or something.
Yeah, leave us a comment, ideas, or
how we can improve, or
if you want to be on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that we have to leave a comment. I was watching the Hill, but I never left a comment.
The Hill. So, Nassar, we met at the when you were a police recruit, right?
Yes, sir.
At the 99th, he was part of the 99th Basic Law Enforcement Academy.
Yes.
But we'll get there. That's how we met, and I've been talking for a while about having you on, and I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here.
Heck yeah. So go ahead.
So we have a big fan, too. Listen to every episode.
Yeah, I watch every single one of them.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's a lot, because my wife's only listened like half of the first one. And never listened to any other one since. So
yeah, well, like every time I see there's one up, I wait until when I get home, I'm gonna watch this, and then when I get home, I just eat my dinner and get ready and start watching.
Dang, bro.
Yeah,
because some of them aren't that short.
Yeah, some of them, some of them are pretty long, but they're very interesting. I really enjoyed it, every single minute of it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I gotta say too, Frankie hasn't really watched. That's my wife. She's seen a few. She's like, yeah, I hear y'all talk all the time anyway. So,
when we started this, we've had, and you've heard them all. So we've had a variety of people on. But
yes.
We started this with the idea, and it means different things to different people. And some of the guests are more serious than others. But what I'm getting around to though is, you have a story about, and we'll get there, but I'm going to let you introduce yourself first, and then we'll, where you grew up and where you lived before Virginia and all that, yeah.
My name is Nassar. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, actually 49th Street and 5th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. My dad actually moved us to overseas in 1995 for us to be able to learn multiple languages and stuff like that. And right now, one of the languages that I picked up which is Arabic, and I speak it in 4 different dialects.
Wow.
And I speak a little Hebrew.
So you were born and raised in Brooklyn, but you said your dad moved y'all to other parts of the world, right?
Yeah. He moved us overseas. Then I came back 4 years later, once I learned the second language and stuff like that, and moved back to New York. And worked in New York, lived with my uncle, because at that time my mom and my brothers and sisters were still overseas. So I just moved back over here.
So where would y'all go overseas?
In Jerusalem.
Okay.
And how old were you when you moved over there?
It got me thinking of doing about math now, so I'm not really good at math.
Well, how old were you about,
How about, was it my 20s?
Okay. So you lived in the United States your whole life, then you go to Jerusalem and
for a few years and came back.
Yeah, but how much of a shock was it moving overseas?
It actually was a big shock because being born and raised here and overseas, is like the culture's different, the people are different. It took me a while to get used to. Right. And the weather, everything is different over there. It took me a little while to get used to it, but I got used to it pretty quick. So
you obviously have family over there.
Yeah, I had like my uncles, my aunts, and cousins, and yeah.
So it's not like you just went there as a stranger. People.
No.
People were living there.
Makes it a little easier.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier. Yeah.
So all right, so you in your 20s, and so what happened was first of all, you see, I'm like and you probably already knew this, but when you got the academy, I was like playing that role of instructor and class coordinator and all. But what we did was have the recruits come up either sometime during that first week and do like a brief introduction.
Yes.
So when you gave your introduction about, it basically was like, the question's not always the same, but in this particular instance, it was, why did you want to be a police officer? Yeah, and then, but your story about it, I mean, it's moving and inspirational. So, but yeah, I mean, you can just kind of just go ahead and go from there. So
when I moved back to New York, I was working and
what were you doing then?
Actually working in grocery stores.
Okay, yeah, that's okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the 9/11 happened. My boss actually said, "Hey, man, do you want me to give you a ride home before they shut down the subways and stuff?" So I told him, "No, I'm gonna go catch a subway real quick." Caught the subway on my way home. A group of guys came up to me, said, "Hey, terrorists, come over here." I said, "Look, I have nothing to do with what's going on," and I got assaulted pretty bad that time, where 80% of my teeth, like, they're fake, they're not real because of that assault that occurred. Which I'll be honest with you, I don't blame them at that time because of so much going on, and that's one of the reasons why I want to become a cop is try to help out other people because you don't know what other people are going through, and and do my best, to try to change somebody's life one day, for the better.
Well, I can already see where your, I would say your head, but also your heart is too. I mean, you've already, I don't know if you completely forgiven them, but you immediately just said,
I forgive them, and people go through a lot of rough times in life, and I cannot judge them or blame them for what they did. I'll be honest with you. It's just a moment of anger, I guess, at that time.
Yeah.
I do not hold no grudges towards anybody whatsoever.
Yeah. And that just led you down a certain path, too.
Yeah, I actually made me become a better person. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Now, was it law enforcement ever on your mind before?
It was, but that really pushed me even further into law enforcement. And I've tried so many places, so many different agencies, but nobody ever called me, and luckily the Hopewell Sheriff's Office called me at that time and told me, "We got to give you a try. Come on in."
That's awesome. Were you already down in Virginia at that point?
Yeah, because when that incident happened to me in New York, my dad moved me over here to Virginia because my cousin was living here at that time.
Okay. Probably a good move for you.
Yeah, it was a good move because I wish I would have stayed in New York, honestly. I just love that place, man. It's amazing. The city that never sleeps.
I wish I knew exactly the street, but my sister-in-law and her husband still live in Brooklyn. They're kind of on the outskirts now.
Oh, okay.
But they were right in the, I wish I could remember the street. I might text her, but they've been there for at least 5 or 6 years now.
Oh, wow.
Because they grew up in Virginia, and then she got a job.
I bet you they enjoy it.
Oh, they love it, yeah. Because we've gone up there and visited just a few times, but, I mean, I think they've had job offers other places, and they're just like, nope, we're staying right here. Wow. Because even when they moved, because they just had a baby, so they had to get a bigger apartment, and they got a little townhouse. But it's still, like, right on the edge of Brooklyn, kind of in the suburbs, but more
But see, what I like about New York, like, say, 2 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you want to go out and go eat. You find plenty of places that's still open. You can still see people on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I enjoy about New York. And
yeah, here's like a curfew.
Yeah. I've never been, so you guys, I'm sure I've heard that, though, the city never sleeps.
Yeah.
So I'm rarely at a loss for words, but, sitting here with you, and I remember that story about you're being attacked.
Yeah.
And and you said, you forgive them. And that's, I feel when I've heard the story once, I heard it again, but I'm sitting right next to you. And it just makes me super sad, makes me angry. It makes me, ashamed,
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't hold anger. Like, I'm not mad.
Yeah. Well, that says a lot for you.
Just, like I said, it's a moment of anger. It happened, and I just forgive them and keep them going with life and try to help out others in the same situation or different situations. Like, you got to forgive in this life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what keeps you going every day, is just forgive and keep going.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like it's probably a good trait to carry on as a police officer too.
Yeah.
Not taking things personal. And
No, never.
being able to forgive and
Exactly.
Yeah, that says a lot. Yeah, so you moved down here. So I guess you know what year that was, or so. I mean, I'm trying to dwell on the attack. So you went to
2002, I believe.
2000. Yeah, were they arrested or anything? You might charged.
No, never knew who was.
Right. Okay. And then
It was so much going on. It was like nobody knew what was going on, and it's just chaotic, everywhere.
I mean, it was just, I mean, within hours of it happened?
With hours, yeah.
Okay, so everyone was kind of in a just pure panic.
Man, well, okay. So your dad was, hey, let's get you down to Virginia. You had family down here. Were they in Hopewell or
Actually, in South Hill, Virginia.
South Hill?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Moved down here, I'll be honest with you. Like when I moved down here, I was saying, "What am I doing here? I need to go back."
Well, it has to be a culture shock.
Oh wait, yes, it was. It was a big difference. Moving from New York to South Hill, Virginia, but
South Hill is Hopewell is a small little city, but South Hill is a whole nother.
oh yeah,
Man, that's wild.
But don't get me wrong. I stayed there, start working and everything. But then I said, this seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I actually started loving it. Like people were very nice, polite. Everybody knew everybody. I said, wow, it's like reminds me of overseas, like how it's like a village. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I really did.
Just got to go to bed earlier.
So what? So all right. So you're here. And did you meet your wife here, or how?
No, actually, my marriage was an arranged marriage.
Okay. I mean,
It's a culture thing, but they don't do it now. But before, so she was my sister's best friend. I really never knew my wife. Never talked to her until the day of the wedding.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you got married?
More math. Well, it don't have to be perfect. Yeah, I mean, you were obviously in your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just about in my 20s, early 30s, maybe.
Okay. But so it was after you moved to Virginia. then?
Yeah, that's after I moved to Virginia and everything.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, and what's your nationality or not nationality, but
So a lot of people, I was, like I said, I was born and raised in this
You're an American,
country.
you're US,
American,
but you have ancestry or
Arab
family.
American.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I was just asking. So and because people who don't know, I mean, there's a. So I'm trying to think what year this might have been. No, I'm terrible with this too. In Petersburg, we hired he was like the first Indian officer.
Patel?
Yeah, Patel.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. So Patel and I feel like his marriage was arranged at some level, and we talked about it some because I mean we didn't have like a formal conversation or like a podcast. We were just talking. I still work for Petersburg. I was a training corporal, and he came through. But I remember him talking about that. And yeah, I mean it's not like it's every culture has different traditions. So
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Like when I tell people that, they be saying, "Oh my God! Like how did it work out?" Well, like people be in shock, but overseas it's like it's normal.
Right.
It's their thing. It's like, but over here some people see it like it's like a very, very shocking to them to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, like
This is kind of how you meet.
Well, go ahead and talk about
Anybody, anyway.
So Kathleen, yeah.
Yeah, so,
the couple he told you about that lives in
Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn, yeah.
So, her husband Ganesh, his whole family's from India.
Okay.
And this wasn't arranged or anything because same thing. He grew up in Northern Virginia. His his parents moved over from India when they were probably in their 20s or 30s. But he I got to get absorbed in that culture too because they had their American wedding here like 2 years ago, and then about 3 months later they did a separate wedding in India, and only her mom and her dad went, and it was I mean, just completely isolated. It was like small family.
Yeah,
and,
it's like some people do that.
yeah, and then recently they had a Deva there, or my nephew. They had a first birthday for him because I know he had his birthday in December, but then in India they celebrate it by the moon.
Oh yeah, well, the moon calendar.
Yeah, the moon calendar. So
Yeah.
they did his first birthday with a priest came over and they did offerings, and a bunch of his uncles and aunts came over, and Frankie and I got to sit and watch, and it was super cool.
Yeah.
They had like a fire going in the living room and like singing all these songs, but I mean it was super. They just welcomed us in and just
Wow,
let us
that's good.
participate. Frankie got to wear a sari, and all the girls got all dressed up. But,
That's his wife, yeah. So his wife's sister, is who we're talking about, older sister. But I mean, I guess for some people, first of all, we raise our kids to respect all cultures.
Absolutely.
But and we were really to hear all about, and because I know, Kathleen's in-laws, right?
yep.
Her parents are from India. They're really great people. But so when they went to the birthday with the Line of the Moons, I was like, man, this is. I love that kind of stuff, man.
Actually, I like me personally. I love going to other cultures and
Yeah.
other people from different countries and watch how they celebrate or how they do things, because it's very interesting to see what other cultures do.
Yeah.
And it makes you get more knowledge about that culture and like what does disrespect them and what does not disrespect them and stuff
Yep.
like that, because you try not to disrespect anybody because of what they believe in and what they do. So that's why it's very interesting to learn when you go
Yeah.
places like that.
Well, it's cool to watch too because Ganesh, he's super laid back guy. And, I mean, he grew up in Northern Virginia, and I've heard him speak. I think he knows 2 languages, but I mean, he's like, I've never seen him real stressed out before, but during this, like
He was stressed out.
I wouldn't say stressed, but his dad was like looking at him to like sing along or say like repeat after the priest, and he was looked a little
A little shook.
little stressed. Yeah.
Well, I'd be nervous too if I was the pastor or whoever's at my house looking at me like, "Hello,
Yeah.
how much?" Or your dad's watching. All right. So anyway, so you move over here. At what point did you start applying for agencies, and then?
Like, for example, I'm going to say Petersburg, I put in about 10 applications
For P-Town?
for P-Town, never got a call. Hopewell, I put in like 4 or 5 applications, never got a call. It's just, Riverside is the only one. I started my law enforcement career with Riverside Regional Jail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Then from there, that's when the Hopewell Sheriff's Office picks me up.
All right. So yeah. Okay. Now yeah.
And you started in the jail.
In
or-
the jail, yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
How long were you in Riverside?
Oh, about a good 5 years.
Goodness
wow.
gracious, bro.
Were you second guessing it?
About a good 5 years. But the reason I left is I got beat up in Riverside. He broke 2 of my ribs. He broke my eye sock and a broken hand.
Jeez.
I got sucker punched. I wasn't paying attention, and he called my name, looked back, and knocked me out.
Man, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know. I had a friend who worked there too, and he had a couple altercations. It's just like,
Yeah, it's like you're one officer for 90 inmates or 80
that's what he
inmates.
said. That is insane. And that's a whole shift.
Yeah, whole shift, 12-hour shift.
Man,
That's rough.
that doesn't seem fair.
So when that happened, so the guy knocks you out, and then I guess he continues to assault you.
Yeah, I got assaulted pretty bad for the most part.
So I guess obviously he was charged. And,
Yeah, he was charged, and actually he had court last June, and he was found guilty. They gave him 10 years with 8 years suspended. They only got 2 years to serve for it.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
messed
the
up.
system is, yeah. I mean, well, we could always talk about that, but so they knocked you out, broke your eye socket, broke your ribs, and he gets 2 years in jail.
Yeah, 2 years.
That's pretty sad. Now, how fast was the? Well, I guess you were.
The response,
Yeah, the response. to that.
Actually, the response was pretty kind of decent.
Okay.
From when I watched the cameras.
Yeah.
And I asked him, like, why did you assault him? And he said, I'm sorry, I did not know it was him. He didn't know it was me. He said, I just blacked out.
Right.
He said if I would have known it was him, I would never do that to him, because he said Officer Nassar was a great officer. So he treated her with respect.
But yeah, I believe that.
But
Yeah.
he said that I just blacked out.
Huh. Good defense. I can't remember what happened.
It kind of worked.
Yeah. It's yeah. That's too bad. All right, so you said you applied different places, and of course you were at Riverside, and then now was it at the time Sheriff Kephart, or was it?
It was at the time Kephart.
Yeah. So Sheriff Kephart, and he's before Stanley now. So
Yeah. So when I was under Kephart, I said, "Hey, I want to become a full law enforcement certified." And he said, "Look, He said, when I hired you, I told you I'm not sending nobody to the academy. And I said, yeah, but is there any way you could change your mind?
Right.
He said, no, I'm not going to change my mind. He said, because I had people where I hired them, sent them, and then they also, once they get their certification, they leave to other agencies. I said, I'm not that kind of person. Money, it's not always green on the other side, and money's not always everything as long as you're happy where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So then the elections came, and Travis Stanley won the elections, and I told him, hey, I want to go to BLE school. He said, you got it.
Really?
He sent me to the next academy right away.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, so when we had him on the show, I was trying to give him some props, because he didn't want to hear that. But,
Yeah, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like.
But I did. That's one thing I don't know if I mentioned it then. I'm pretty sure I did, man.
Yeah.
He sent you there, yeah. So, it's how much do you, you've seen it play out for you while you're in New York, but, so here you are, you're an Arab American.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're an American citizen, period.
Exactly.
There is no, there's nothing disputing that. And then you want to make a career in this field of law enforcement, and then obviously I feel like you were discriminated against along the way. People wouldn't give you that chance. Is what I'm saying.
I want to think. I really do not want to think like that. Sometimes, yeah, I do believe it. That's what it is. Is just because of who I am or where I come from. But like my dad always told me, don't always think negative. Always think positive, because you never know what those people might be thinking of, or maybe somebody better than you came in. It's not always of where you came from and what do you believe in. So I just, like my dad said, kept on telling me, just keep on pushing until soon. One day, if it's meant for you, you're going to get it no matter what.
Yeah, I think that's great words of advice.
Yeah. Well, I think two things. Once you finally got it probably felt that much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like
Absolutely.
years and years of
Because
trying and
since I was younger, I always wanted to become a cop, and I just want to be able to help people and do good things,
Yeah.
And I just kept on trying, and now I got it, and I actually love it, and I love being out there in the community. I love talking to people, even though some people look at us differently because with the uniform.
Yeah.
But like I told this lady one day, like the uniform does not judge me of who I am. Like it's my heart. Like
yeah, y'all are people too.
exactly, we got feelings. We got like everybody else.
Yeah, that's good too, though. What you said about thinking positive, because I was a teacher, and I feel like so many kids growing up now are just they play the victim immediately, and it's like if they get in trouble or don't get something they want, it's immediately like, oh, it's because I'm dumb, or it's because I'm this, because I'm that.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. There's not as much positivity.
Yeah.
It feels like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think it says a lot for you. And I'm gonna try and put you on the spot, but
good.
you look at. So I'm looking at it from a white American, let's say, and after 9/11, people were upset because I didn't live in New York, but I know that people who are of Arab descent and people are just looking at you like, and this is the lesson is, like you just said, you can't judge people by how they look or their nationality or their heritage or something like that. We talk about this all the time. That's our society now is just focused on race, and I can tell you how far race relations have come since even I was a kid. As far as and down south it's mostly black and white. Of course now the South is more integrated, and I don't mean just with I don't mean when I say integrated, I don't just mean with black and white. I mean there's more people who have come to this area, different nationalities, all over the world. So, and this area is kind of have always been like that because of the military base over there. But there's a lot of communities where that's it. You just white or black or white or black only, and if you only highlight that, you miss so much about other people. But I guess what I'm getting around to is I feel like hearing your story that and now having you in the class and getting to know you and knowing everything you've been through on a personal basis, some of the stories you share with me about your family and stuff, it's like this guy was a number one candidate the whole time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And it's just a shame that we still have people that are that narrow-minded, so, but anyway, you're out here changing the tone, brother.
Trying my best, man. Trying my best.
Keep it positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's hard, and so you got the good days, and you got some bad days.
No, I admire you for that. I mean, because I'm definitely not that positive of a person.
Now, did you train him for the jailers or just for the BLE?
BLE.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the year, but hell. So you'd already been to the BJA part of it, so you got to come back for the BLE.
Yeah.
No, I was his class coordinator, and we had a great class.
Yes, we did.
That was the 99th, right?
Yeah, 99.
That was my last class, but no, it was some characters in there, and and honestly, some of the stuff that went on there, we're not gonna go into detail, but some of the stuff was being said even within our class, within his class, there were some comments that were inappropriate, and I guess that's kind of why when you were talking earlier, it kind of hit me hard because I'm on the outside looking into this class, and there were certain people in there. I was like, I wanted to go off, and I did go off on them.
Oh yeah, you did.
About these things they were saying. So I mean, I know it exists, and I guess it still bugs me kind of. Some of the stuff people said to Nassar,
Yeah, especially when it's supposed to be
a brother,
more of an inclusive group.
Yeah. Well, they in the end, I think y'all got pretty close.
Yeah, well, we got really close. I still talk to quite a few people from my previous class. It was an amazing class. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Overall, everybody was great, man.
Yeah. Awesome. All the classes have their own personalities.
Yeah.
How many were in this class? I know it's changed every time.
Yeah. 32 or something like that.
Our class, it was maybe in the 20s, I believe.
Hell, I don't know, man.
It was the smallest class, I think.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It was the smallest class.
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Damn, I forgot.
I'm
getting old, man.
Well, yeah. I still have it. Yeah, so maybe so. Yeah, maybe it was in the 20s.
Do you remember y'all's motto? Because everyone's come in here had some sort of
Above
motto.
all else, we go home.
Above all else, we go home. Yeah.
Okay.
Their first motto was, "I want what I want."
You made that.
That was that class. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else was in that class?
McCulley.
Okay.
That was out here.
Yeah, McCulley and
Pulver, Seamster.
yeah.
Because I've heard that before, so McCulley must have brought that up.
Yeah.
And you brought it up too, though. I want what I want.
He's the one that gave us that.
And y'all had to.
That's from a Tool song. The band Tool.
Yeah.
I want what I want.
Y'all didn't like that too much.
No, not really.
He wasn't part of it. The song wasn't part of that. But, some of that stuff is to get you motivated.
Yeah.
That's the reason you do it. So, whenever they came in, whoever a guest instructor was, that was up there. And they were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And if I was in there, that's their class motto. And they were like, what the hell is that about? So I'm sure, once I left, I'm sure they weren't happy. But what the purpose of it was to motivate you to not have that motto.
I think PJ walked in one day and he said, what's that? And you were ready to explain. He said, no need to explain. If you put it up there, I know.
Yeah. PJ's funny. When I left there, he's like, everybody knew you were an asshole. I'm like, okay. And that was the motto, bro.
Yeah.
And?
Yeah, and I'm still an asshole. But I've changed. Anyway, so, all right. So you were you already at Riverside before you got married, or?
Yeah, I was already at Riverside when I got married.
So how long you been married?
18 years.
All right, that's good. Good answer.
Got that number.
Yeah.
And you got how many kids you got?
I got 2 boys and 2 girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
4. Yep.
Y'all are outnumbered.
So we talked a little bit before the age groups.
Is 17, 14, 13, and 8.
Wow. I'm doing math now.
You got your hands full, man.
Oh yeah, oh yes. No comment about that one.
I'll say you look younger than you are.
Oh, actually, I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, he's a handsome fella.
guess
I
that.
told him I forgot how handsome he was. When he came in, I was like, this joker looks good, bro. Yeah, but all right, so man, and we were talking about before you came in, but so we were talking about my wife was asking if your son was going to, if your oldest was going to college, and you were telling us that. So what?
Yeah, so he's a computer geek, and he wanted to go join the U.S. Navy because they deal with a lot of computers. But VCU told him, hey, we'll give you a full scholarship if you just come to us.
Wow.
So that's what he's going to be doing next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
VCU grads here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's huge.
Oh, yeah. He wanted to join the U.S. Navy, but he said, look, he talked to me actually the other day. He said, Dad, like, what do you think I should do? I said, it's your career. You make your own decisions. I could help you out as much as I can, but the last decision is you. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'll just join the VCU and go from there. I was
Yeah,
like, okay.
because if he does VCU and he doesn't like it, he can still always join the Navy.
Yes.
But if he joins the Navy, he will never have that opportunity to go to
join
VCU.
VCU, and it's a full scholarship, so
So you can't argue that.
no.
No, you don't turn that down. And then the military is always still an option.
Yeah, absolutely, no question.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, because he could always just be reserve or
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good choice. Yeah, and VCU is a good school. I mean, I think but he could be able to stay on campus and stuff.
That I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah. So if he does, I mean, he'll find that. I mean, both our kids went to VCU, and I mean, pretty much everybody in my family graduated VCU, but me. But I graduated Virginia State, baby. Let's go,
You went to
Trojans.
VCU though.
Yeah, I went to VCU. But what I'm getting around to, I mean, it's an inclusive, society or culture there. So there is no, I think everything will be fine there. So
Yeah, there's so much to There's
it's one of the most
never-
diverse schools, period.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's as New York as you can get when it comes to
Yeah.
different colleges.
Like when you drive
'cause-
up to Richmond, so like to the MCV area or VCU area, like you see a lot of people like from different nationalities.
Everywhere,
different, like, wow, where did he come from?
Yeah, and they're right in the heart where all the. I mean, now they're building all kinds of different buildings
yes.
and stuff too. Like
Yep.
every time we go, I was by the where we used to live on Broad Street, and they already have like 3 more apartment buildings up within the past like couple years, I think.
Yeah.
But it's just constantly growing. But same thing, they never sleep there either.
How did
so.
you deal with the parking over there, man?
It was
Yeah.
the
No, don't take if you're a student and don't have a car, just
yeah. I'll say the first 2 years I didn't have a car, and then I would bring it just sometimes.
Hit and
'cause
miss,
we
yeah.
lived so close that I could just they would drop me off sometimes. And I just go without a car for a little while. But yeah, when I did have it there, it was rough.
It was, yeah, I bet it was.
more trouble than it was worth. Yeah.
And then if you do pay for parking, like a parking pass or something, it's,
Oh, it's
insane.
it's expensive too.
Yeah, and it's usually a lottery too. You have to. They only have a certain amount of spots, and
Oh wow,
if you don't get one, then you kind of just up the street parking. But
wow.
you guys are probably pretty close, right? Are you still in South Hill? Or are you?
No, I actually live in Hopewell.
Oh, in Hopewell? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. Too far of a drive.
No.
Yeah, so even in the class, like Nassar would go out of his way. I mean, I'm not going to name names. I mean, anybody that needed something in that class, he would help them, man. To the point as this got ridiculous. At one point, I'm like, bro, you're going to stop doing that. Whatever. I'm not going to go into detail, but yeah. Remember, that popped in my head.
I remember.
I'm like, yeah, you're done with that. I want my business, but I'm like, bro, you're
what
done.
I believe in, like my dad and always used to tell me, like, if you could help somebody, help them. If you can't, just tell them you're sorry and you cannot help them.
Yeah.
But like he said, if you can, just always help them as much as you can, because whatever goes around comes back around.
That is true.
And that's what I believe in. I
Karma,
always
yeah.
try to do good deeds in my life. Sometimes, life will hit you down, but you got to get up and keep on moving and just keep doing what you're doing, and
yeah.
everything will pay off.
Yeah.
Then
Comes
we-
back around.
We got to have Nassar as a regular on this joke. Man.
Motivational over here.
I'm saying, man, damn, I feel guilty, bro. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I think that's
Well,
great.
you've always
you were raised that way.
you've always helped people.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if we ever
Yeah.
saw somebody on the side of the road, I mean, we never thought twice. Just kind of go and help somebody, whatever it was.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I mean, whatever it was, you're right. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to play like this role I always play, but truly, that's how you were raised.
Yeah. He's a big softy.
Yeah,
Deep
bro.
down.
And Will the same way. So you
Oh, yeah.
partners in Petersburg, P-Town.
So you work with the one and only Will Mayer.
Will Mary, yeah. Great guy, man.
So
Amazing.
if this is 16, so he was on 14, right?
Yeah. He was episode 14. Yeah. So
I had to when you did that interview with him on the Hill, and so I had to rewatch it again.
and that was an interesting one.
Yeah, it was.
Then we called that one Off the Hill.
Off the Hill.
He's a unique character, but one thing I guess what I'm trying to tap into, and you already know this because my son knows it, but you always be kind when you can, but when it's time for business, it's time for business.
Yeah.
So I think that's a lot of people have a hard time separating that, and I'm not saying that to you because I don't think you don't have that in you, but I think that what happens is years. So I did this job like 20 plus years, and then of course training, and I worked part time in Hopewell for a while too.
Yeah.
And it becomes part of your psyche, and then it's a part of you that I'm trying to get away from that part of me that when you told me the story about what happened in New York and you get attacked, even in Riverside, I go into like a rage mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want I'm like, okay, well, I'm picturing me being there while it's happening and wanting to jump in to help you. You follow me? That's what cops do. So I'm picturing. I think I can imagine myself as working at Riverside and something happened to somebody I work with. I want to get in there and help them. But I think it's also becomes a detriment to you as well. So if you can, the goodness in the world is always going to override the bad, and we're out there doing the good. Mm-hmm. But when you see so much evil, sometimes it takes a toll on you, and then you're fighting to not let that consume you.
Exactly.
So you've seen enough and experienced enough stuff that has personally happened to you, and I'm sure family members, and yet here you are still doing the good.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
It is.
Yeah, but like sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, like, how am I still standing up and moving and doing the right thing, man?
That's tough, bro. That's a testament to you.
Yeah,
and your family, your father. You speak of so much. You must be somebody you really care about.
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's still overseas. I really do miss him to death, and I worry about him every day because of where he's at. But I still look up to him, and even until right now, like if something's going on, I call him. Sure. Hey, Dad, I got this going on. What should I do? Mm-hmm. Like I still get advice from him, even though I'm 40 years old. But I still always call him and get some advice from him and just see what he has to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, even though you're 40, so like, my son, you're 28 now. Mm-hmm. And I'm 50.
Almost.
You're 27.
Yeah.
What? He'll hit you 28 in like a month. March 1st. Yeah, it gets hard. You get confusing, man.
Well, it was bad because I had to think about it too. I was like,
so I guess what I'm trying to say is this: how I get, go on these crazy shit. But your dad's always the same age, older than you than he was the day you were born.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So even though you're 40, hopefully, that age gap there is some wisdom in there, some knowledge.
Yep, absolutely.
And, same with my son. I mean, hope he can always count on me to give him some decent advice or be there for him.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And you with your children.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
even that now, kids these days, they think they know everything, and
it comes back around.
Yeah. I said, okay, keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna come. You gotta come back crying. Hey, Dad. Well, I messed up. What should I do?
Yeah.
I guess I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes full circle. I mean, they'll come back.
Yep.
There's that certain age group where they when we did the same shit. Probably. I know I did. I didn't want to hear anything my parents had to say, and then you get older and wise. You're like, damn, they were right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Particularly once you have kids, and it really opens your eyes.
Well, they say sometimes you will not learn until you fall.
That's right. Oh yeah.
Sometimes you have to learn the hard way. I guess.
Yeah, the hard way.
So, all right. So you went to the academy, man. You graduated. I mean, you were super proud, I know. And then you had the sheriff there and the whole crew over there.
Yep.
So most of the guys that you work for, your supervisor and with, most of those guys are old Petersburg heads.
Old Petersburg, yeah.
Yeah, P-Town, man. the Lilly brothers, man.
Yeah.
The sheriff.
And
Big Will.
I'll tell you, absolutely amazing. The guys, man, absolutely amazing. Like they look really big and tough guys, but actually, like they got a soft heart, man. Like they got a heart of gold, honestly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got the A team over there, man.
So who? I don't know if the Lilly. You said
Two
the
Lilly brothers, man. Yeah.
And they both were in Petersburg.
Yep.
And now they're both in Hopewell together.
Hopewell Sheriff's Office. Yep.
Wow.
One is a captain. One is just a deputy.
That's crazy. Are they close in age? Or are they kind of?
I think they're about. I would think 3 to 4 years apart, maybe.
Just about.
Wow.
But
maybe not, but yeah.
The younger Lilly, he became a firefighter.
Right.
Retired from Hopewell Fire, and
Now he's part-time deputy or whatever.
part-time deputy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And then the other one went from Petersburg to Emporia. I think he's a city councilman there too, but he also
Yeah, he's city councilman.
and he works in Hopewell as he's a captain.
Yeah, he's a captain.
Them boys are wild, bro.
No, they were there when you were in Petersburg. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like all those guys dispersed at some point.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Different era.
Now, I could be wrong with this, but did Travis Stanley, did he do any of for the graduation, did he do a speech or anything? Or that was somebody else we talked to?
But that was Dennis Roller.
That was Dennis Roll. Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Travis is, he's the sheriff over there. So, yeah, he
I guess he was just there, but.
Yeah, so what happens is at the academy, Crater Criminal Justice Training Academy. I just had to say that right. It's made up of like 40 different agencies that attend there. So at the graduation, if you have a recruit from your agency in the academy, the heads or their representative will always be there for the graduations.
Okay.
So you'll see the pictures of them, and they're there to support their people. So based upon the amount of people that they send to the academy on average is what they pay every year on a contract to keep. And plus you got to recertify and do other training there as well. So, they all just pay a certain percentage.
Yeah, thank God it's online now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it's online through this TPN network.
Yeah.
So,
Like certifications and stuff.
certifications.
yeah, you can still go in person. You got some of the old heads that want to go in person.
Yeah.
And they'd like to get in there and, plus they're, somebody my age may not be computer savvy, so they trust it more in person.
Yeah. Well, that's how most things are going now. Because I know Mom and my wife, Frankie, they both work for HCA in the hospitals. And she's getting her master's right now.
Oh, wow.
And it's covered by HCA.
Oh, wow.
It's all online, and you can start whenever you want. You can stop whenever you want.
Yeah,
Frankie's about to go take some certifications.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, I tried to go get certification to be a certified interpreter. And they want like $9,000 down payment. I said, okay, I will just wait for that a little bit. So that way I could be a certified translator.
Yeah.
Like for other agencies and stuff like that. Some people actually do still call me. Hey, I got somebody I need you to translate for me. I said, okay.
Yeah.
But once you get that certification,
And it's official.
it's official, and more agencies will start contacting you.
There might be something that I'll start looking just for this, as a friend of yours. I'm gonna see if maybe there's
Appreciate
something
it.
we could got to be some kind of program that you're not paying out of pocket. It seems like that would be a vital tool to have for this area.
Yeah. So you have to do from what I was told, it's a minimum of 40 hours that you have to do, like classroom work. And I
Right.
said, wow, it's $9,000 for just that?
Yeah,
That seems like,
let's do some research, man. I wonder, and that might be something the sheriff can look to as like a grant program or something, and that's something you could be utilized, statewide.
Yeah.
At least for the Tri-Cities or the Southeast Virginia. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And
You're
how
right.
many languages? You said
It's all Arabic. I speak in 4 different dialects.
dialects. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you said that. 'Cause
Now,
I'll
did
start
you
looking
learn
around.
that growing up?
Growing up overseas.
Okay. I didn't know if-
Because overseas it's like mandatory. You cannot graduate unless you have to speak at least 2 languages.
oh wow.
You cannot graduate at all. So if you don't know how to speak 2 languages and write both languages,
You can't graduate.
You cannot graduate. You
And
cannot
that's like
pass.
fluent. Like
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, our kids are spoiled, man.
Yeah. I mean, I took Spanish, but
No.
I can't remember much.
Sadly. That's one language I wish I know, man. Because especially on 295 these days,
Yeah.
you get a lot of people that do not speak English, and sometimes you just, like, thank God we got these phones, man. You just do the Google Translate, and it helps out a lot.
Yeah, it would help to be able to do it, because we do the same thing. We have customers who speak different languages,
Yeah.
and we just Google Translate's It's a lifesaver.
Yes, it is.
Because you're sitting there just talking to it, and it's...
So one day I wanted to try it, and because by me speaking the Arabic language, so I tried to Google something in English to translate in Arabic, but sometimes actually it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah.
It switches words around.
So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah. Because we had this one lady who kind of is tight with the company. She's Korean, and she has like a organization with pretty much, it's like the Tri-Cities where she kind of gets the families together and does different things. But one day we didn't have her. We couldn't get a hold of her. So I was trying to talk to this customer. Yeah, we used Google Translate, and it worked pretty good. Because I know what you mean. She said a couple things, and on our end, you could tell it was like the words were kind of jumbled up. Yeah. But you could kind of get the idea.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I might go back and I was thinking about learning some Spanish again in my free time.
To be honest with you, it's good to know multiple languages. It's always doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Oh no, not at all. Man, I think that's awesome. So, do you think in English or Arabic?
With me, both.
Yeah. Cool.
And sometimes I be talking in English, and all of a sudden if I have my friend beside, I switched.
You go back and forth.
Back and forth. Like one of my friends said, "Bro, how the hell did you just do that?" you was talking English, then seconds later you switched to a different language. How does your brain even do that?
Now, does he speak Arabic too? Was he able to understand?
Yeah. So my friend, actually, his family's from overseas, but he was born and raised here, and he just knows how to talk English. He doesn't know how to speak Arabic.
Oh,
so.
So you switch, and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah. How do you do that?
That sounds like your friend JC.
Yeah. He's Ecuadorian and Mexican, and I go over. His mom does the same thing. Like, she's very fluent in English, and it's usually when she's talking to them or if she gets kind of mad. Growing up with her, she would just start. I mean, I would understand and I wouldn't understand, and JC's over there, just like he understands every word. I'm like, what did she say?
You were dead.
He's like, no, you're good. But I've picked up some stuff from them, but it's funny because he's the same way. He says he can't speak good Spanish, but if I tell him say something, he struggles with it. But as soon as he gets into a conversation, it just comes right out. Yeah. But that's pretty crazy to think about.
I mean, I obviously would have to expand your knowledge at so many different levels because you're tapping into your brain. I mean, that's what I was asking was. You're not just thinking about, and do you think in English or do you just think in your, I'm trying to think, do I think in English or do I just think and think? But I mean, it'd be interesting if I had two different languages up there.
Think and think.
If I had two different languages, like, what the hell am I thinking about,
Should I? It depends on what's the subject about or what is it about. Sometimes I'll be thinking in Arabic. Sometimes I'll be thinking in English. It's just,
I think that's cool, man. I wish I
depends
could
what's
do
going
that.
on.
Yeah.
You just think in pictures.
I just think in images, man. Like caveman drawings. Damn. You catch it rough, man. All right, so you started off in the sheriff's office, and did you start off in the courts and stuff?
Yeah, I started off in the courts.
But then once you got the BLE.
$295.
$295, baby. The Miracle Mile.
Yeah, $1 Million Mile.
So you any excitement out there?
Oh, yes. Every once in a while, we got into a few pursuits. It was actually, I'm not going to say fun, but it was because you put in other people's lives in danger and stuff like that. And that's what stay in the back of your head. Okay, let me just stay focused because I...
Were you breathing?
Oh, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because I didn't want to get that
tunnel vision, baby.
Yep. And I don't know if you heard this on the news or not, but three people were involved in a double homicide. One was I think in Prince George. It was a Uber driver.
I did hear about that.
Or something, and there was another guy in Richmond.
Yep.
Yeah, we got in a pursuit with them, and they crashed. And once they crashed on 295, they jumped out and ran into the woods, but we got them.
Chased after them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, were they coming from Prince George, or were they coming?
They were going southbound, so they were coming from the Richmond area towards Prince George.
Yeah, because they murdered one person in Prince George, right?
Yeah, one person was in Prince George, the other one was in Richmond at a gas station.
So they murdered two people?
Yeah, two people.
Good, nice.
Well, you knew who you were looking for, and
no, we actually not. Was my partner at that time, so I was I was on the other side of the highway, and yeah, he was just gonna pull them over for this speed, and then that's when they took off.
Wow. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's why I say you never know who you're pulling over.
No,
They're just speeding. He goes to stop them. They take off, and they're murder suspects.
Man.
you like every day you meet different people, and you get some of them get mad and curse you out, and some of them say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was speeding,"
Yeah.
And like me personally, I always try to look out for people, even though like they're like in the reckless category, but I still lower it down so that way it would not be a misdemeanor on their record or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Help people out when you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to work out there in the $1 Million Mile too. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't know if you knew that. So actually, I was still working part time. I was full time in Petersburg. My last 2 years in Petersburg were the sheriff. Sheriff Crawford. I don't know if it sounded right.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Brain fart, man. Getting old, bro. But yeah, she hired me for my last. I had 20 and 21 years, so I had to get that 20-year mark. But anyway, I was out there on 295, and you would try to cut people over a break, and sometimes you would stop them. So now, what's the speed limit out there now?
70.
All right. So, but reckless driving now is not 81.
80, anything above 85.
So it was 1 mile over 81 was reckless. So now 85.
85.
Okay.
80, so 86 basically. So
You're rolling, bro. Imagine. So
86 is moving.
that just reminded me. I stopped this guy. Because Fort Lee is right there, and he was a soldier and rented a car. Mm-hmm. And I pulled him over. He's like, "Yeah, man." Just because I was trying to give him tell him what was going on with the ticket. He was like, "Yeah, just give me the ticket, man. I'll be in California for that court date. It's not really going to matter." I'm like, "Okay, so I'll be right back." So I've changed it to reckless, right? Because he was such a acting like such an a-hole. It was like and it was like him and 2-3 people in the back seat and somebody in the front seat. He thought it was a big joke.
yeah.
Yep.
Some of them do.
I made a reckless drive. I said, "Okay, so you're not gonna be here, right?" He goes, "No." I said, "Well, okay. How long you can stay in the military?" "Oh, but this is my career, man." I said, "Well, this is a class 1 misdemeanor in Virginia, reckless driving. So now you're gonna have a criminal record." So maybe it's a little more serious than you thought, because if you have any kind of criminal conviction, a speeding ticket's one thing, but a class 1 misdemeanor conviction makes your career up.
Yeah. Different. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh," but
Change his tone a little bit.
yeah,
Last month I had this girl.
serious business, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. She came in at 112.
Dang.
So I pulled her over as soon as she was polite and respectful and all that. And then all of a sudden, when I told her her speed, she was going off, man. She called me all names in the book and everything. Like, So I still tried to do her favor, drop it down to under 100 at least. So I went back to her, I was trying to explain the ticket to her, and then she started going off again. And I said, "Okay, tell you what, hold up 1 second, I'll be right back." Went back to the car, changed it to the full 112. See you in court, man.
Yeah, what you got to do.
Yeah, and you guys had the body cam.
Yeah, body cam and everything. And she said, "Is your body camera rolling?" I said, "Absolutely, ma'am." She said, "Okay, you're going to need it in court." And I said, "I don't mind showing it to anybody."
Yeah, the judge. Yeah, what's the judge of it? Is it
Right now, it's Judge Ramsey.
Ramsey? I think it might be somebody different. Yeah, it's been a while since I worked there, but yeah, the judge was always real nice. But when you were disrespectful to the officers, he
Took care of him.
he hammered you. Yeah.
Then we got Judge Elides.
Oh wow, he's a judge.
Yeah,
now,
he's a judge now. Judge Clark retired.
That's what I had, Judge Clark.
Yeah, he retired.
That guy was cool, bro.
Yeah, he is cool.
It was entertaining to be in his court, man.
Oh yeah, he tells her the stories.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I like that guy a lot, man.
He's really good, man.
Good for him to retire.
Was he near the end when you were?
Yeah, he was an older
there?
guy, but just one of the best judges, I thought. Because I'd been in front of a bunch of judges over the years,
Yeah.
I just thought he was fair, but I mean, he knew how to dispense justice the right way,
Really, all the judges in that building, man, they're great people, man. Like, I have mad respect for all of them. They're very respectful and very polite to us, never had any issues with them at all.
Yeah, I wish I could say that in Petersburg, but that wasn't always the case.
That's too bad.
Yeah, we had some great ones, and we had some anti-police judges.
Thank God we don't have that over
So
there.
I mean, that's part of the whole thing we used to talk about in the academy was, you can kind of tell a community by the amount of crime they'll tolerate. So, when you have a judge that's letting people go, for the crimes that they're committing, and this is a cycle. Yeah, all they're doing is going right back into the community.
Yeah,
and they would make it hard for the cops, the judges. Now, if you're wrong, you're wrong, but it wasn't even that. It was just the judge had this anti-police. There's two of them. They were just anti-police, man.
Yeah, we had a case downstairs. I was on field training still at that time. Our officer was in a foot pursuit, so we went to back him up. So the offender actually assaulted me and assaulted another officer. And when they went to court, to General District, the judge said, I'm getting on process the case because you guys don't have enough evidence to pursue with the charge. So the judge downstairs dropped it, but luckily the Commonwealth brought it back, and he was found guilty.
Good.
He got 5 years.
Good.
Yeah, that's a felony assault on police officers.
Yeah, 2 of them.
And you guys saying you got assaulted wasn't enough to...
Because the judge, because somebody called in a suspicious person, and the judge basically said we did not have enough evidence to stop him.
Oh,
it's just because somebody called in a suspicious person in the area.
Yeah.
So for an officer to talk to you, they got to have reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
So I mean, you just got to lay that foundation. So whatever happened in that initial preliminary hearing, at least the Commonwealth was brought it back. And that's Rick Newman, right?
Yeah, Rick Newman's office. Yeah.
I'm gonna have him on here, man. Rick Newman, baby. If you're listening, baby, come on to the show.
What does he do?
He's a Commonwealth attorney
for
Hopewell.
Hopewell.
He used to work in P-Town, too.
He really did?
Yeah. Not as a cop, but as an attorney. He worked for the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
They all came from Petersburg. It's funny.
Proven ground.
P-Town.
Yeah, be glad you didn't get picked up there. So,
well, if you want to get the experience, they said always go to Petersburg.
Yeah, that's true. But there's other things that come along with that.
Yeah, true that.
that aren't positive. So, yeah, it's just another world.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the people that live there. I just mean the whole thing, the agency itself, and the city.
Yeah. Well, now are you mostly on 295?
Yeah, 295, and we just back up PD whenever they need more assistance or anything like that. I always like to help back them up at all times if I can. You know?
Yeah.
Even if I'm not going to do nothing, at least me being there.
Sure.
You know?
Well, you have arrest authority, so I mean.
Yeah. And especially I want to get more experience on the street, so that's why I always go to the calls they go to, so I could at least observe what they do and get the knowledge from that.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, exactly.
So you also do some overtime stuff out there, so that's with the PD too, right?
Yeah.
Like the football games, whatever, parades.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like New Year's Eve, I worked with the PD. The New Year's Eve, just working the streets, backing them up on calls.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I love it, man. I really do.
That's what's important.
Yeah, I would not change it for the world, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a rewarding career field. But I mean, a couple of things, and just stay focused. Don't get lackadaisical. Don't get comfortable.
Yep.
And I can see where like the Google translator, that's cool. But I mean, I can see it putting you in dangerous positions too.
Yeah.
You're trying to and you're leaning in the window, and it could be, just be cognizant of all that. So yeah. So what about your family, bro? I mean, do you want to go into any of that?
Well, we can.
I mean, so when I was in, he was in the classes when Shelly, my wife, was diagnosed with breast cancer and stuff. So yeah, we were going through all that. But you had some, your wife was going through some things too.
Yeah, my wife, she had 4 heart valves replaced.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all because of a high fever.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they found out. What's the cause of it? She had a high fever. She didn't treat it like she was supposed to, and it went down to her heart.
The infection or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Man. So I just remember, and I don't think you even told me about it. I think somebody else told me about it. I mean, that's how he is, man.
Yeah.
I mean, something had happened, and I can't remember, and that's really much immaterial. But what I'm getting around to was, that wasn't going on with him. He's still trying to help other students in the class. He's got 4 kids, a wife with this going on. He never once complained about anything.
Yeah. Oh, I can see that.
You just gotta move on in his life,
Yeah, but that was tough, man. I was just like, what?
It don't get me wrong. Yes, it was. It's some days like we get the good days, and some days we get the bad days. Like, but we just have to get up and keep moving.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Because she gets sick a lot, and every time she gets sick, I get worried. So we have to go to the hospital and all that, and her because she's on blood thinner medication. Every time she had like a nosebleed, for example, it cannot stop. You have to take her to the hospital, and yeah, she has to sleep overnight in the hospital for them to be able to stop the bleeding.
Wow. That's tough.
Yeah.
Where did she get her operation done?
MCV.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, she was on an ECMO for 45 days.
So what now?
She was on an ECMO. It's basically the machine is living for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a electronic
Yeah.
heart, basically, right?
Yeah, electronic heart.
Man.
45 days.
45 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be tough. That was while you're in the academy, or was that?
Before that, I went to the academy.
Man.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's in there living his dream, and then at the same time, facing all these other challenges. So I was like, man.
Yeah. But yes, we got to keep on. That's how you were too with mom.
Yeah.
Through her cancer, you just kept it pushing.
It's tough, bro.
It is tough, yeah.
Particularly man, I can't talk about it. Can't talk about that.
Yeah.
It's tough, man, but yeah, we made it through it. But you got to be strong for your family, man.
Yeah, and sometimes, be honest with you, it's hard, and that's why you go sneak to the other room or sneak somewhere else and
right.
just break down, because I always try to show my kids to always be strong, and just keep fighting and keep moving, but sometimes that stuff gets to you and it breaks you down, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're human, man.
Yeah.
You can't be, can't be a brick wall all the time.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Well, you got family in the area too. Like, don't you said that you got family live near you and stuff?
Yeah, all me, my brothers, my sisters, all of us live in the same area because my mom didn't want us to,
That's awesome.
different
I didn't know that. Okay.
counties or different cities. She made sure all of us are right there in Hopewell.
Oh,
So,
that's really nice.
you can count on them too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's always key, man.
So when you came down from New York, did they move right after, or was
It took them a couple of years to start moving in here, but one
Just
at a time, start
slowly.
moving slowly, slowly.
But your dad, you said he's overseas right now?
Yeah, overseas. My dad's overseas right now.
Okay.
My mom is here.
Is he just visiting, or is he?
No, it's my grandma has dementia, and there was nobody over there to take care of her, so he had to stay back and take care of her.
Wow. Another. So all y'all are just like big-hearted.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I appreciate it,
Just
man.
all want to help people. That's awesome.
We try my best, man. We always try our best,
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Damn, we got to have you on here all the time. We're going to have you like our resident guru, bro. That's awesome.
Well, life has to go on, and you just gotta keep on moving,
So, I mean, you don't have to answer this, but like with your wife, will there be a point that she can come off some of this other stuff, or will it always?
No,
Yeah.
it's for life.
So, I mean, is it like a we'll talk about this later, but yeah, I'm just thinking about some different things. I mean, I'm not adopted, but I'm just thinking about like, are there other,
Trust me, I did not. I learned a lot about hearts because of her.
yeah, sure.
I know the ins and the outs of the hearts now, because of her situation.
Yeah. Now, does she have family down here too?
No, she does not. All her family is overseas.
Okay.
And that was the hardest part. Like last year, she wanted to go see her family because she hasn't seen them in 6 years. So basically, the doctors did not want her to fly because of the pressure of the plane or something.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, extended flight is dangerous for blood flow
So
and
basically,
all
we went to her doctor, her heart doctor up in Richmond, and we explained the situation to them, and they said, okay, we could probably work it out for her to go visit them and come back, and hopefully everything worked out, and she was fine.
that. Oh, good. So she was able to go.
Yeah, she was able to go, but I just had a rough time getting her medication from over here to over there.
Man.
Oh man.
Because the medication that she takes over here, they don't have it over there. So, and the insurance company basically refused to give her called travel package or something like that. Mm-hmm. They do only for 2 weeks, but they don't do it for 2 months or 3 months.
That's ridiculous.
So
It is ridiculous.
So I had to order a monthly and then
Ship it.
ship it overseas a express mail, and it was $178 for her to be able to get her medication within a couple days.
Man,
Damn, bro.
that's pressure.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, at least she's enjoyed it. She's seen her mom, she's seen her father and her brothers, sisters. I said,
Good.
That
Makes it worth it.
it makes it worth it. Absolutely, no question.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, does she work at all, or she? With
No,
the
she
kids?
doesn't work. She's always home with the kids. You know,
That's awesome too.
I always like my mom stays with us, and my mom and my dad. But my dad's overseas, like I said. But my mom is living with us, and it's like my turn to take care of my mom and dad now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I don't charge them for nothing because they took care of me all these years. Now it's my turn to take care of them
Yeah.
now.
It's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think too. So you said 17, your kids, 17 years old, and then
17, 14, and 13 and 8.
oh wow.
I still have to think about it sometimes. And like,
No, I'm just trying. Yeah, that's not really the easiest age group either.
no, it's not. Oh God.
So anything else you can think of? You want to like any words of wisdom or anything you want to talk about?
Just tell people to think positive and never judge a person of how they look and what they believe in. And you don't know what people are going through in life sometimes. So treat everybody with respect and treat them the way you want to be treated. That's how.
Yeah. Can't say it better myself.
Yeah, so we started the show, oh, you've listened to it, but just, we kind of were like, hey, let's do something together. And on the hill, you've heard this, but somebody may be listening for the first time, or, the on the hill was, this is Happy Hill Road.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was kind of and there's, we always joke about, come to the hill. It's like a neighborhood thing or a friendship thing. But then symbolically for me, it was more about, I think we said it in the class was, life is not easy, but, the axiomatic symbol of our nation, and I'm not saying any religion over another, but Christianity is, bear your burden and climb the mountain. You gotta carry your own burdens.
Yep.
And that, a prime example
Yep.
of you're carrying your burdens and much of your family's burdens, and you're trying to, climb that mountain. And to me, this is probably one of the best interviews I think we've done as far as positivity.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
here
I
you are,
agree.
but you actually live the actual motto of that. Yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
that's real, man.
And you're not just talking it, you're living it out. and
Yeah.
Proving it.
I've been through a lot in my life, and I always say that I promise this to myself, like I'm going to treat everybody with respect, no matter who they are, what color they are, what religion they believe in, because life is too short.
Yeah.
I wish just everybody would just get along and we live in a happy world, but unfortunately the world is changing, and it's sad to see how the world is coming to right now. But I just hope everything works out and everything gets better.
Well, it's things like that. Keep spreading it and
Because
pass it on.
if you do one good thing to somebody, that person will actually probably go do a good thing to another, and just keep that circle going,
Yep. That's what it's all about. Anything else?
I'm at a loss for words.
Well, I am going to ask. I'm going to phrase it differently this time for you. If you had to pick a favorite dish? Right now, anything you want.
We used to do you're on death row and it's your last meal.
me, I love shawarma.
So what is that? I don't know.
It's it's the lamb meat, it's like they have like a fire and then a spinning wheel, and
And they just cut it off the edges.
cut it off the edge, just like a gyro.
Yeah.
No, in Richmond, when I was at VC, we had a shawarma shack, and then one other place that did shawarma. Oh, it was so good.
You got to go out to the one in Norfolk, man. That guy's
What's that called?
is Shawarma Palace.
Shawarma Palace. Okay.
Yeah, he's like about 8 or 9 of them lined up on the wall. You got chicken, beef, lamb, or whatever. But it's off the chain.
Yeah.
You need to buy him a sandwich, man.
Yeah, well, I'll try it. Yeah. So, all right. So, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good?
So just the shawarma.
Yeah.
What comes with it?
Yeah, sour cream, lettuce, tomato, onions.
Yeah, because you doing a sandwich, or I know the place we went, you could get rice too.
You could
like
get
a
rice,
platter.
but I get the sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't want the rice and the other extra stuff,
So I guess like a BLT, but with just the whatever meat you choose.
And what's the season with it? Like
It got a special season. It's called the 7 Seasons, I guess.
damn.
It's really good. I like it. I love it, actually. Yeah.
What about drink?
Drink, I hate to say it, but Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Yeah, man, I drink like 3 or 4 of them a day. And,
Keep you going.
and coffee.
Yeah.
It's that caffeine.
So, like all the squad parties, all the not squad parties, but like the parties y'all had in the academy, do you drink alcohol? Or you?
Oh, I don't drink.
Yeah, okay, good. I don't either, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink no alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
2 sobers here.
You drink some alcohol?
I do drink some alcohol on the weekends.
Yeah.
No, it's not like that. Not at all.
No, hell no, not like I did.
Socially for fun.
Yeah, so like Saturday night we had this thing. It was like the UFC fight. They my son-in-law had it. Like I said, my daughter they live 5 minutes from here, but they had like a little party.
I saw that picture with you and the big fluffy coat.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I was referencing, but yeah, but yeah, I definitely did my share of that back in the day.
Yeah, we had some fun on Saturday.
Yeah, so like I mean, I'll end up like with this. So years ago, I was called in. We had a guy that was a captain, and I was in the detective division. You know, like a recent. Didn't somebody just get promoted that we know?
Yeah, Macaulay.
Tell me again. What is he promoted to?
Detective.
Okay, what?
Detective.
So okay, McCulley's a detective, right?
Yeah.
How long did y'all graduate?
I just found out today.
But how long y'all graduated? What, 2 years ago?
No, actually, it's been a year and 1 month.
A year and 1 month.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, hell yeah, it's been a year and a month.
Yeah, a year and a month. Because we graduated in December 15th.
That's right. Yeah.
I saw the Patriots on Facebook the other day. I saw him in full uniform.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
Picture him playing hockey.
see, he got on the show because I knew he'll hear this. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I thought he started that group. Somehow, like it was like a miscommunication that he started the PG Patriots hockey team, and that wasn't really the case. This other guy started Dobbs.
Oh, Dobbs.
Yeah. So I said, so you started the program? He goes, no, I didn't start. I'm like, so wait a minute. I had him on here initially just to talk about that, and then it turned into the McCulley show. You tracking what I'm trying to say, right? I feel like he okey-dokes me, man. He okey-doked me, man. So anyway,
Macaulay's a trip, man. I
so
like
if you're a first year investigator, it used to be. I mean, it's nothing against you, but it's called you're an investigator, and a detective is you move up to a detective rank based upon years in service. So it's not a you can promote. Career development can go either officer, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, so forth. Or if there's a career development, you're like a officer first class, senior police officer, and all that, and then you have to be promoted up from an investigator to detective based upon how you fall within career development. Yeah. But everybody just calls it detective. But technically, he's an investigator. You tracking?
Tracking.
So, all right. Anyway, so now we're back to this thing. So I was probably an investigator, and the guy calls me in. This is in Petersburg. He's like, and he meant well, but he wasn't. What he was trying to do was from a book he read, and the author of the book meant well. Tracking?
Okay.
But this guy didn't mean well. So you can read a great book and then try to regurgitate the information, but when somebody's a good person and somebody's not a good person.
Yeah.
So I'm telling the story right now, but I always got to throw something in there. So he's like, hey, have a seat, Liverman. And I've already known this cat, but he was a captain now in charge of investigation. So tell me what your 5-year plan is. Then what your 20-year plan is. I'm like, look, man, basically my goal is my plan is that, I want to make it through this career and not get killed, get out of this career. Grow old enough to watch my kids get married and have them live close by so I can watch my grandkids grow up. And that was my answer. And he got pissed. He was like, that's not an answer. I'm talking about what are your career goals, man? Like what's your goals and
what does he want better than that?
No shit.
Yeah, really.
So anyway, what made me think about it is my kids both live at the moment 5 minutes left from my house, 5 minutes away, And then we're going to have our first grandbaby, and they're going to live 5 years.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody now is playing all out, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the end, none of that shit, nothing else matters but family, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No question about that. Man.
Yep.
Well,
That's
That'd be a grandpa.
That was a long way to get that story, dog. I was struggling at the beginning, man.
getting old, man.
I was tongue-tied, dude.
I know. It really turned into a grandpa.
Nassar had me like in tears at the beginning.
No, man.
So when the baby's born, is all that going to turn gray? Does everything turns gray?
Yeah, man. If it ain't,
Sooner or
it's
later,
already
yeah.
gray in it, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, you guys still got brown up here.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Color this one little spot.
I'm getting gray now, so.
You put a little Grecian on there.
Oh, no, man. I just
Let
It
it go.
looks good, man.
natural.
No, good looking man.
I can't do it. I can't grow any of this. I can grow this. That's it.
That's one thing I was worried about, going to the academy and the sheriff. I just don't want to feel like I don't like shaving it, you know?
Yeah. Once you grow it, I mean, I love this thing, man. Because I never could have it my whole career,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Well, I think to have it all you want.
Yeah, man.
You had it through academy. He had that in the academy. didn't
Goatee,
he?
man.
Yeah, he had a
just a
goatee.
goatee.
Couldn't grow a beard. That was the like the Grand Wizard wouldn't let you grow a beard. remember the Wizard of Oz? You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey!" He got this big ass voice and shit. But then when they pull the curtain back, it's like this little midget dude on a stool. That's kind of what it's like over there.
Oh my god. All right. Well, we'll end it on that.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing. So you work with Will, right?
Yeah.
Did he give you any words of wisdom or anything?
Man, that guy always has some words of wisdom. And that's why I like, that's my to-go person. Like, if I'm feeling down or I'm got something on my mind, I always go straight to him because he'll tell you straight up,
Yeah. Goddamn, he won't answer my damn text message.
He's very hard on answering text messages and phone calls. You have to catch him right there,
Okay, I'm about to say, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
He's a busy guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. So before this, but we're gonna present you with this On the Hill cup. It's actually we only got one more left, so we got to order some more. Yeah. And we printed these business cards, but they're kind of too small to read. So get some reading glasses before you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's
Thank
for
you.
you to have, and we appreciate having you for
Thank
you coming
you guys
on. And
for having me over here. It's a pleasure and honor, honestly.
Yeah, I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have some people coming on, but what I want to do now is like have some regular people on. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll have like a topic we'll just throw out there, and we'll just kind of run it through the three of us. Or
yeah,
we have Nassar back on the board, man.
yeah. How about some?
I don't mind that at all.
Straight OG, the Guru. That's your new nickname, baby, the Guru.
I feel motivated. I'm ready to get up in the morning and
Get
going.
getting.
I love it, man. I wake up every morning ready to go, man.
Red Bull in hand.
Red Bull in hand. No, first of all, I have to drink my Arabian coffee.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Then go get my Red Bull. Then in the middle of the day, I go get the American coffee.
Damn.
A little bit of everything.
A little of everything, yeah.
What about, do you eat a nice diet?
I know.
Okay.
Shawarma.
All right, fuck it. All right.
I think we're good to go.
That's it, brother.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right. See you guys next time on the hill.
Is that how we end it every time?
Peace.
Oh yeah, so I thought you say one more thing at the end.
Well, yeah. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us on YouTube.
I got ODD.
And you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts.
That's it. All right, brother. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Another episode on the Hill.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to On the Hill. Like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. See ya.